Southside. Yeah.
The people that are used in the industry to help the bigger corporations control society, control the narrative and everything that they have been doing so far. So the Lil Nas X situation, where he's coming out with this shoes, that contains 1 drop of human blood, and all this madness that's going on that he's spreading into the world, that he's helping them spread. He doesn't even know what he's doing. All they see is money. Half of them don't even know the things that they're doing and what they are actually being used for. So this Lil Nas X situation, it's just another agenda. They want you to follow that, and they want us to comment. Like, I saw Candace Owens live and she had some great points, and I'm going to play this live after. But this is something that has been happening in the industry for a very long time. Some sort of ritual that is taking place right now. The number on the shoe, the symbols, and that drop of blood. The wrong that's being done, what they're doing to people, the influence and all of it, that they are actually influencing younger people. They know who is watching, they know the audience, they know who they are targeting when they do this kind of stuff. And for a very long time, it's the devilish situation, right? This is not something new. They've been doing that from old school. If you look back to all the old school movies, right, and you look back at the black person that's playing the scary monster type character, it's always a black person. It was always for a time. I think I watched this documentary where they only casted black people for that specific role back in the day, and that was the only role that went around for a certain period. So when you look back at all these scary movies and stuff, you mainly see black people play the scary character, and this is something that they want to do. They have been doing this because that's what they want to push. That's what they want to show us as the scary people. They should be afraid of us. Ever sat and wonder why they use the people in the industry for their rituals and things like this to put out their signs and the devilish mark and everything, and they come off they make it to where they don't know what they are actually doing and what they are signing up for, what they are promoting. But when you really think deep into it, they are actually using them, the bigger corporations. I sat and thought, why wasn't we included in the stuff that they started from way back when? Why wasn't black people on telly? Why wasn't this? Why wasn't that? There's so much things that they've been doing. And when you talk about this kind of stuff, they don't want you to talk about this kind of stuff. You can't do it. You can't even say, this is wrong. This shouldn't be put out. What are you guys actually doing? You are affecting people. But no, it's just like when Little Tim got released, they know the impact that was going to have on many people. And that's why I think they targeted a certain audience, and now they are actually, reviewing the algorithm or whatever they're doing, whatever these bigger corporations are doing in the industry, like Candace Owens is about to explain.
Good are being persecuted, and people that are doing bad are being given a platform, because we have evil corporations that have a much more sinister motive behind what they're doing, right? So we have in this same week, we are talking about the young black girls in Washington, D.C. Talk about Black Lives Matter, and you understand that black Americans are the #1 violent offenders against other black Americans, right? So we actually commit a disproportionate amount of crime in this country. You talk about that and people say, oh, it's because of white supremacy. What? It's because of white supremacy. Look at our culture, okay? Look at what we are being told that we should idolize. Look at the people that these corporations, who I believe are the real racists, right? I think they see black Americans, they see us as stupid. I believe they see us as pawns, and they say to black America, look, I'll give you a check. Why don't you go on stage and pop yourself, and just keep popping yourself and popping your vagina into another woman's vagina, and we'll give you a check, we'll give you a check, we'll give you a check, and we'll run all of this great press, and we'll say that what you're doing is amazing, and it's forward, and it's progressive. And then you say you don't understand what is wrong with black America. We have a sick culture. It is ill, okay? We are literally dying, okay? And you have people that are going around trying to gaslight me. All right, shoes on Palm Sunday. And please, when you're watching this, please recognize that we are not talking about Lil Nas X. Yes, he is the person behind these Satan shoes, but he is just a pawn in a larger game. Nike is really the corporation that we should be talking about. Lil Nas X does not understand what's happening. That's why he's tweeting me. That's why he's saying, oh, I know I did something right if Candace Owens is Lil Nas X and Candace Owens are not even right now thinking in the same regard, right? He is thinking he can make money. He, just like Cardi B, like every other Black American that is being used by these corporations, they don't understand what they are being used for. They don't understand that they are being used really to just initiate evil throughout American society, and that Black Americans are just the conduit, right? Corporations, other companies overseas, people that have nefarious intentions against American values, they realize that they can use Black Americans to accomplish their evil means. That is just 100% the truth. Nike is poisonous, and I want to be very clear here. I will never purchase anything from Nike ever again. I'm asking any person that follows me and understands and believes in the things that I am trying to do to take that very simple pledge to never buy a product from Nike ever again, okay? We saw them, all athletes typically are not smart enough to understand this, right? So their platforms get hijacked by corporations that are much smarter than them. They are tokens, tools to further much more horrible incentives, and they're even aware because all they see is a check. So Lil Nas X, for those of you that don't know already, Lil Nas X is releasing a shoe. It is literally Satan, a Satan shoe that contains 1 drop of human blood. All right. So all the time that we've been saying as conservatives that it really does feel like what is happening right now in America is satanic. Well, here we are, Lil Nas X, Satan shoes, and he doesn't understand what is problematic about this. Just like Cardi B doesn't understand what's problematic about her performance. They think we're making it big. Candace is the problem because she's commenting on this. First and foremost, what they are doing, okay, it is a form of gaslighting, and Ben Shapiro talked about this often. I'm going to spell this out, the left does, what these people do. They do something that is so perverse. Artists typically, and all athletes typically, are not smart enough to understand this, right? So their platforms get hijacked by corporations that are much smarter than them. They are tokens, tools to further much more horrible incentives, and they're even aware because all they see is a check. So Lil Nas X, for those of you that don't know already, so loud, so disruptive. They want us to comment, right? So it would be an attack if they were just walking down the street and we were like, oh, look at this person, they're a horrible person. They expect us, right? By doing